Hey guys, I'm Morthadon, and we are back for Attack on Titan Season 3, Episode 15. So, last time we had the metal rods. No, they're spears, you dummy. That was a great line. But yeah, we had the thunder spears introduced, which is a new weapon humanity has come up with to fight specifically the armored titan. I wonder how effective it would be on normal titans, but it does seem like you have to execute it with, like, they said they need the right amount of high ground, so you need to be able to like side strafe by them, I think, in a way that you keep moving so you don't get like they said you can't go like side to side, right? You need to go right past them, I think is how they explained it. But either way, regardless, they seem interesting, and we got a lot of insight into Erwin's head in the last episode, a bit of insight into Rhina's head. We learned that Rhina can move his head into his body, no, his consciousness into his body, which was pretty crazy to learn that's possible. And yeah, so just a lot's happening. We had it end with a big boom on Rhina's neck, so, and him saying like, I don't want to die, or something along those lines. So is this gonna kill him or not? Also, I just for the sake of transparency, I don't like to fake anything here. I saw one shot of Marco, the guy who died like season 1, in the preview, which makes me wonder, and like when I kind of forgot about it until I booted up this episode, and it's been a little over a week since I watched the last one, so I skimmed the last one real quick just to make sure I didn't miss anything or like forget anything. And I remembered about the preview, and just a flash of thought came through my mind where I was like, is it possible, like, they've always made it be like kind of weird how he died, and then it reminded me of Rhina's, because Rhina was the one that like found his body and freaked out about it, so I never thought it was him, but then we kind of learned he had multiple personalities a bit. I wonder if Marco saw something he shouldn't have, Rhina had to silence him, and then just dissociated it into his like other personality or something, and didn't even realize he was the one to do it. I don't know. It's just a brief thought that by seeing one frame of the preview with Marco, I was like, why would they bring him back now other than to maybe reveal what really happened to him through Rhina's memory, maybe? I don't know. That's my thought. Anyways, enough rambling. Let's get started with this episode. We're going to start here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now. Right into the opening. Let's go. Before I started recording, I woke up from a nap and took a shower, and when I woke up from the nap, I sat up and instantly got hiccups. And that usually, like, it's happened a lot. I don't know if that's a common thing or if it's just me. When I go from like laying down to sitting up, getting hiccups. Usually, after I move around a little bit, they go away on their own. And man, I took my shower, got dressed and everything. I went to go put some more ice in my iced coffee, and I ended up still having the hiccups by the time I got back to my recording room. So, man, I just ended up chugging some water and it went away. But needless to say, hiccups are annoying, folks. I want to get to the cellar. When? Give it to me now. Descent into the cellar? No, I'm kidding. Descent into madness? Oh, I don't know. Wait, why are we back here? Huh. Okay. We're getting their perspective now. How did he sneak up on them? Oh, so he did. Wow, okay. That preview scene really spoiled me. God damn it. That sucks, man. Mmm. Whoa. Yeah. Thanks, exposition. Yeah, damn. Wasn't he, like, half eaten? Oh shit, Annie's here too. So they knew each other for sure. We knew that. Never mind. Oh wow. She doesn't want to have to do it. Why do they have to? Oh, they're just gonna feed him to the Titan, not give him his gear so he can't get away. Like they're taking the gear off so he can't run. Right? Whoa. Interesting. It almost feels like she's not one of them, but she's trying to prove she's one of them. This is fucked, man. This is so fucked. Damn. This is risky, though, too. What if he lived? Damn, man. I would have freaking jumped through that glass window next to me. Yep, and this is how his half. Oh. Ugh, I hate how he's just like. Looks like he's just like sucking on him. Yeah, he dissociated it into his other personality. Or was that when he developed his other personality to try to cope? That's a fair point. So they have no idea she turned to a crystal, right? Oh, yeah. Damn, man. This is crazy, getting this perspective. What? This one, okay. Yep, so he was the scout, Erwin was right. These are the cups they found, too. Yep. Hmm. Alright. Damn. So will Berthold act without being told when he sees Rhino? So hurt. Where is Ymir? Because she left with them, right? Is she like a prisoner of their village or something like that? Wherever they're from, I assume they have a village. So now... No, he looks like he's healing. The steam... Don't celebrate yet. Get in there. Cut him to, like, 500 pieces. Come on, guys. This... I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I think he's just gonna come back. What's going on, guys? I hate this anime mistake if this is. Maybe I'm wrong. Thank you. We should have did that sooner. Makes sense. Yeah. I don't know why we're And now Berthold's probably gonna know something's wrong. Oh shit, he's out here. Oh, and he's gonna throw him in. That's so smart. Why are they so smart? That's so fucked up. Yep, say something. Huh. I want to go back and read more of that mid card later. I'm actually gonna write down to remind myself to do it because I always forget. Dude, I will say I'm not a fan of this anime trope. But I'll move on for now. I'll probably talk about it in discussion. Oh. So he's more interested in saving his friend than doing what he was supposed to do. Did he move his consciousness to his body? Damn. Wow, it looked like it was going through the Titan, too. How do you stop him, then? What the fuck? Damn. What is he about to do in Colossal Titan form? They said he's supposed to be the strongest. Holy shit, what is he capable of? I feel like we've never really seen the Colossal Titan's, like, full potential. All we've seen him do is appear and kick and show up on a wall and fall. Brave kid, man. Look at Armin go. Hmm. What? Why? I'm... Oh shit. He's going there. Yeah, they reaffirmed his belief. Damn, Armin. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. What is going on? Oh shit. Oh my god. Damn, even Mikasa. Interesting that the transformation is such an explosion. Hmm. Yeah. He put up more of a fight than she expected. Oh no, did he move? Oh, this is why. This is the little bit of movement he wanted, right? Yeah, here he goes. God damn. Jesus! His transformation is this powerful? Is this what happened outside the walls when he appeared? Or is this an ability he has that he doesn't always have to do? Jesus, it's literally just a bomb going off. Like, am I wrong? Does that seem different than when he first appeared at the wall? And kicked a hole in it? Shit, man. Come on. Hanchi's gotta live, man. She's so... Oh, Jesus. Okay, so the transformation didn't destroy everything. Oh, Jesus Christ. What do we do? He's just destroying all of it. Why, though? Why destroy an abandoned city? Why is everyone's fates? Why does he want everyone dead here? Jesus. Oh, that's so scary. Jesus, really? How? That's crazy. Hmm. Damn. Ah, man. That is it, guys. Oh, wait. Oh, shit. Oh, I stopped it. God damn it. I forgot the to be continued. It took so long. Okay. We're gonna be off sync by a few seconds. Um, I'm hoping... I jumped ahead a few seconds. I don't know. We're probably still unsynced. But it looks like there might just be preview after, but just to be sure, I'll let the outro play out while I start talking about it. Okay. So this is one of those episodes that is going to make a lot more sense once I know more of the story, right? There's, for some reason, Berthold, Rhina, these guys that are from, seemingly from, I've always thought they were from like a different village outside of these walls. They, for some reason, really don't think the people in these walls deserve to live, but we don't know why. I mean, we obviously know the king was subjugating his people and like wiping memories and stuff. That's okay, good. It is just preview. That is it, guys, for episode 15. But yeah, so there is oh man. Because what the king did was atrocious, wiping the memories of people in order to try to keep them, for you know, at least what we understand of the story, controlling the memories to control the masses, right? As simple as that. Now, there could be more to the story that we don't know yet. That's possible. It's always possible. But like they were saying, like, do you really think we're the spawn of Satan? You know, like that line from Armin was really interesting. And before I say any more, there's a couple lines because I kind of like caught myself talking at one point. Shit. Now I should have wrote down which parts they were. There were a couple points where I was talking and I missed like a couple lines. I think one of them was when, like, I'll give your armor to another warrior, which I think was this conversation before this guy showed up, right? Uh, Maybe it wasn't here. We'll finish our mission once and for all. Okay, it might have been before. Shit, sorry guys, I'm really bad at finding this shit. Yeah, they already took off to get into their positions, which means it was before. We can be the ones to end this, so let's do it. Keep Annie out of my head. It's a living hell, but we shouldn't put anyone else through it. Hmm. Damn. I don't know where did he, like, threaten... Do I just need to go back? Okay, well, I'm back all the way. I think. Mm-hmm. I bet she's hiding somewhere practicing her kicks. She's fine. Her identity was revealed. Yeah. Came to an agreement, go through all that trouble for no reason. Fight again. Here we go. Okay. Okay. Interesting. So it was really just them reaffirming their goal of, of retrieving the coordinate. I wonder if the reason why they want to kill everyone is just because they know they're not gonna, like, if they take Aaron, they know they're not gonna give up on trying to get him back, right? Like, so if all the scouts die here, they're pretty much all the ones that actually give a shit about Aaron. Pretty sure humanity would just move on for the most part if Aaron was gone. At least humanity inside the walls. But yeah, they keep talking about like this cursed history and stuff. It's like it's almost like they don't like this whole Titan situation any more than anyone else does. Like between the people in the walls and this group too. But why? I don't know. I'm fascinated. But um there was one more line, and I'm sorry, I talked over it, and I hope it wasn't important, but I don't remember exactly where it was. It might have been during the Annie and Rhina discussion, right? Was it right here? He heard me and Bertolt talking. You shitheads, what the hell? Um, yeah, Annie, take off Marco's ODM gear. I don't know if this is a spot, but okay, this is. It's when. Okay, yes. He explains like why she has to when she says like why do I have to, and he says back there, and that's where I paused. Right when she goes and cuts down the Titan. I didn't. I talked over this part, and I didn't know what the relevance was because I missed the line. You risked your life to save Connie. Okay, seems to me like you're becoming sympathetic to the enemy. Yeah, so he says that's really interesting. He says, your father's waiting for you. If you and he are any different than the filth within the walls, then prove it to me. Like, why would he say that if, like, it almost feels like Annie and her father are different than them? Like, wherever they come from, it's almost like they are, like, from the wall or something like that, but somehow became a part of their group, and she has to try to prove herself. Because, like, it doesn't really seem like Rhina or Bertholt have to prove themselves to each other in any way, so why does Annie have to prove herself to them, right? Or there's something else about, like, they say, like, the filth within the walls. Like, what why do they feel that way unless they're like Titan supremacists or something like that? Might not be a good way to put it, but do they think that anyone who isn't like able to take Titan form filth? Could it be as simple as that? Are they just racists, you know? I don't know. um but But why would he say that to Annie when Annie can transform? So that doesn't necessarily make sense. I don't know. I'm really excited to learn more based off this episode. Like, this is one of those ones we've been getting a lot of answers recently, but I feel like we haven't had as many questions coming up as we used to. This is one of those ones that just creates a lot of questions. I love it though. I love it. I'm okay with it. So there's definitely so much more to their story that's going on here. But yeah, man. Huh. That's crazy though, with Marco being like the one to hear in on them, and then because of that they have to be the ones to kill him, and then he must have disassociated it. Wow. I'm so mad that I saw that one frame of Marco's face and being like, why would they bring him back now? And that just brought me down a rabbit hole of theories, you know? It would have been such a better reaction if I wouldn't have thought of it. But like I said, I don't want to fake things here, so I don't want to pretend when I've already had the thought that this could be possible to just be like, "Holy shit, I didn't see that coming," you know. um, but yeah, man, that was brutal. Just taking his gear and letting him be eaten, and I know that he was distraught and everything, but he just laid there and like let himself get grabbed. Man, I would have at least tried to run. Like, sure, maybe it would have been futile because they're right there watching. So if they see him run, they can just chase him if he does somehow get away from the Titan. But, then you risk running into someone else. There's a lot of people running around all over the place here. And if you run into someone else, then, things just go way out of hand and could ruin all of your plans. So, but yeah. I want to get the elephant in the room off my chest, too. The fact that they sat around and talked for so long after thinking they beat Rhina, I'm so just not a fan of that anime trope. I'm really not. Like, it's just when you know these things can regenerate, why wouldn't you? Because I don't even know that did they even know that his head was blown off? Maybe they did see that part at least, and that's why they let their guard down. But I wouldn't have just assumed, especially when it's still steaming. That's like the steam of, well, okay, never mind. I guess the Titans, their bodies like evaporate, right? When you kill a normal Titan, their bodies like evaporate and that steam down to like a skeleton over the course of time. So I guess in their death they do steam like that, but they also steam like that when they're regenerating. So I don't know. It's just, I sometimes hold this show to a higher standard, I think, than other anime, and it just pulled that typical trope of, oh, let's just sit here and talk about it for a little while, when they could have just been in there slicing and dicing, And maybe if they would have done more damage to him, like what would have happened when they showed us the diagram of Bertholdt saying that he sent his consciousness through his whole body. It also showed it going through the Titan's body. Now, if they severed him and pulled him out of the Titan, would part of his consciousness be in the Titan and part of the consciousness be in the body? And would that fuck him up in any way? You know? Or, like, if he felt that being cut, would he have to quickly transfer it from the Titan back into his body? Like, what would have happened if they just went and cut him out of it and then just started just hacking away at him, If there was any luck, then he would have just... See, I think a better story would have been them going to go about cutting him out and dealing like a lethal blow, and maybe while that's happening, or while that's about to happen, we have Bertholdt who's trying to make this decision on his own. They set up this whole thing of like, Bertholdt, you gotta make decisions on your own, and not just wait for my order. And then we cut back and he still just waits for his order. Like, I get it, that's his character trope, but it's almost like they told us it's to see him overcome it, but instead he just didn't. Like, obviously now that Ryan is down, he's taking control and doing things his way, but like I get that aspect, but I don't know. It seems silly. I would have preferred them immediately go and try to finish off Rhina. Bertholdt had his idea. They threw him in there, and then maybe Armin, just like what happened, Armin sees the barrel and figures out that it's probably Bertholdt and decides to... Granted, he figured it out because of the scream. Maybe he wouldn't have figured it out if it wasn't for the scream, but, I don't know. I would have believed it if Armin would have figured it out, It's like, they already set the idea last episode of they follow this pattern where Rhina shows up and then Bertholdt shows up. So I think it would have been common sense for Armin to think Rhina showed up, so now Bertholdt will show up, and that's what that barrel is. So they could have gone that route, and then that would have distracted them from finishing off the Armored Titan and everything. So I don't know. I think that would have been a better story for me than just the characters being like, yeah, we won! Oh shit, we didn't, now we're gonna die, or we are dead. And by the way, I do not believe that Hanji's dead. Maybe a lot of the other generics that we don't really know super well died in that explosion, but I have a feeling somehow Hanji survived it. I hope so. I love her character. I don't want to see her dead, so I hope we get some kind of, either she's hurt and we'll find her and rescue her, or she's alive and well and she will make like some kind of badass move when, if our group is saying they have to be the ones to go fight the armored titan with just what they say 6 of them are there. Like, it'd be badass if while they're fighting, or did I say armored? I meant colossal titan. If I spoke wrong, I'm sorry. But yeah, so it could be interesting to see if how that all goes, and if Hanji shows up and makes like some badass move, we'll see. So, man, it's crazy that they built up this idea that the colossal titan. I mean, we've always known he's huge, so he's got to be pretty damn powerful, right? But they even outright said it this episode of he's, supposed to be the strongest. It's just he's such a timid character that he doesn't always use his power to its fullest, but when it's used to its fullest, it's, one of the most powerful. Also terrifying, the idea of saying, like, so they must be from the same camp if he's saying, like, if the Beast Titan was saying, hey, we're gonna, like, I'll just give your armor to someone else, meaning he'll feed Rhina to someone else, so that way they get the armored Titan powers, right? That's how that's supposed to work. So that's pretty crazy. It makes sense that that's a possibility, and I had thought about that of like, if this power is passed on, just like the king passed his power down, right? I had thought about that Rhina might not have been the first armored Titan. So, but also, where do all these like variations come from? Because we never see Titans like the Colossal Titan or the Armored Titan in like the world, right? Just roaming, the Titans that look like that, or even the female Titan for that matter, roaming around. So is it just like, were they engineered to have these like variable powers that the normal Titans don't have, and then it's just been passed on since like the creation of the Titans or whatnot? I don't know, but fascinating stuff for sure. Oh man, I'm so hyped to learn more. I don't know how we get out of the situation though. I don't know how we fight them. I mean, the problem is Berthold can just like emit steam if you even get close to his nape, right? And now we know that he can probably transmit his consciousness the same way that Rhina did. So, like, if they are transmitted throughout the Titan and the body, the only thing I can think of is separating the Titan from the body. That's the only thing I can think of, because other than that, you would have to like cut up every single bit of the Titan into like little tiny chunks and hope that's enough to kill it, right? Like, how much work would that take? So I gotta pray that there's an easier solution. But I wanted to read the mid card again. Should have been right about here. Dark liquid. I read up to, it is believed that the enemy Titans consume this beverage while camping near Shiganshina. I think I've read that much. The remaining traces of liquid had a pleasant smell. The existence of this liquid suggests the existence of an outside culture that consumes luxury goods similar to black tea. Okay. So, just some more hints that there's an outside culture. Man. I'm really fascinated by that, like, obviously, I imagine we're gonna see it someday, right? I imagine they're not gonna keep us in the dark, but I'd love to see what their society is like. Like, I just wonder, could it be like a way more technologically advanced? Like, they tease the idea that in order to get the, like, Titan serum they have inside a sealed container without it being, like, evaporated, they said would take like a higher level of technology than they have, which just makes me wonder if like this outside culture has, like, could they be like our society, right? With smartphones and electricity. I don't think they have electricity here, right? Like all of the all of the technology, like cars and shit like that, helicopters for all we know, who knows? And what if somehow they like that society tried to wipe out all the humans except for them, and then using like the Titans, but then humanity somehow survived and they're just more primitive, and maybe that's why Rhina and Berthold look down on them, as they're the filth that they tried to eradicate, but somehow they still lived and built these walls and shit. Like, what if the Titans that are within the walls are like people who didn't agree with Rhina's faction, right? Like, maybe they're, because usually in a society, when you're trying to commit like such a big act of destruction, there's going to be a lot of people that disagree. And so maybe the power of the Titans was given to a handful of people that didn't agree with it. They defected and then just all created the wall, like used their own bodies to create the walls to try to give humanity one last chance to uh combat it and make a comeback. But the question is, why they wait 100 years for the society to develop to this degree before they did anything about it? That's another thing that I'm not sure about, right? Maybe they had the coordinate the whole time, so they didn't feel the need to go after them, but now that they lost it because of maybe Aaron's dad or whatnot, they now need to actually take action. But it just seems like not only do they want the coordinate back, but it feels like they look down on everyone here, and I'm just wondering why. Yeah, I don't know. I've talked about a lot of theories as to that, but we're just gonna have to wait and watch more. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed. Check out my Patreon if you want to see 2 more episodes ahead of time. You can do so by supporting me on there. I very much appreciate it through the early access tier. There's also shows that aren't even released or might not be fully released on there. So the rest of Freerun that isn't released to my YouTube, all of Solo Leveling Season 1 and 2, Dan Season 1 and most of Season 2, I'm finishing it up soon on there. And then The Expanse for live action shows. Check all that out if you want more content from me. Like I said, links in the description should be popping up on the screen, and I will see you in my future reactions. Bye.